Hello and welcome to Sean Pearson Photography, and this is The Reveal, Episode 2. Today's guest is Mr. Drake Nelson. He's a comedian and former pro wrestler, news producer, crossing over into the lucrative market of video game streaming on Twitch most recently after working in a whorehouse. So please enjoy the show. We're live. Hello and welcome to Sean Pearson Photography, and this is The Reveal. Today I have Drake Nelson, as we just saw, and let's go ahead and bring Drake in.
Where did you see me?
In the intro.
Oh, the intro.
Drake is a comedian, of course, as you saw. Always trying to be funny.
Today trying and not very successful at it.
By the way, I like the mask. What can you tell me about that?
Thanks, man. So, yeah, you know me. The people at home might not. So I used to be a stand-up comedian. I guess I still am a stand-up comedian. It's hard to just, not be a comedian anymore. Anyway,
sure. Yeah.
Because of COVID, you can't really be a traditional stand-up comedian anymore. So I've created this character called Drake Comic.
Okay.
Who's a video game playing bad guy wrestler / sexy, action movie star. That's Drake Comic. I wear a wrestling mask. This is like the mask I wear to the grocery store so I don't get recognized and mobbed by my millions of fans, So all these pictures we're going to talk about today, I'm not wearing a mask, but I wanted to start the show off wearing one of I didn't want to wear the whole gimmick,
Yeah.
But I wanted to
It's unique because if you think about the way there's not much we can do to accessorize ourselves nowadays in the way of with having to wear masks and everything. So it's very unique.
Right. And you could tell that I'm in a green screen. This is a professional studio that I'm in right now. It looks
this is like Jerry's apartment's garage from Seinfeld.
Yeah, but this is all 3D custom background I had made from a young guy in South Korea, a professional lighting situation going on. And no pants either. You can't see nothing. My penis is exposed, right? Can we say penis on your show, Sean?
Yeah, you'd be the first.
Oh, good. That's another milestone for me is getting to say the word penis on a is this a podcast? Are we doing
it's like a video podcast?
Video
I guess
podcast.
This is early. We're recording this early in the series, so
great.
We'll
love
see what
it.
happens. Yeah,
but that's my mask. Is Drake Comics my character, so I can stay at home and play video games and entertain people online like what we're doing right now. I do it on Twitch and YouTube and stuff. So Drake Comics, my character. Boom! You get a flex right there, Sean. Did your nipples get hard from that?
Well, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Let's take a look. We got his.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, if you guys want to check Drake out, you can check it out there. Twitch.tv/Drake Comic.
You spelled it right and everything.
All right. I like that.
I like your fancy blue light you got back there.
Oh, thanks. It's a RGB photography light that I've set on the ground against the wall.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I had no idea. You look like you're about to film some porn.
Well, I just got done.
You got done filming?
Yeah.
Or you were talent in the film?
Both.
You filmed yourself jerk off. Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, I don't know where this is going.
What happened?
This is one of our normal conversations.
I'll tend to take anything sexual at some point.
Okay, so let's take a look at the photos. What I want to do is
let's get into why you're here.
The meat and potatoes of the show. So basically, these photos I have, I believe, 12 photos of you that I've taken. A little less than
you had 12 because I'm ugly. It's
hard to
get.
I don't know what side of you I got. We'll find out. So let's take a look here. This is the first photo.
What do you think? Should I take my mask off?
Yeah, take your mask off.
Take it off? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you good, but you can take it off.
Put my mask on if we're looking at nothing but pictures
Oh, I can hear you better too. Yeah.
Look, same guy. I'm the same guy we're looking at. All right. Yeah, I like this picture, man. I like how you frame stuff. It looks three-dimensional. Like it looks like I'm actually looking at that guy in the front row who's bald,
right.
or the old bald
this
guy.
Here,
yeah.
So
I'm either looking at him or I'm looking at the older guy that's missing hair.
Sure. Yeah, your eyes are almost going to him.
Yeah. And really, I'm thinking about the girl in the red hair. I'm thinking about her tip. But I've learned over time, and maybe it's because I used to manage that comedy club back in the day, about eye fucking people. Can I say eye fucking on your show, Sean?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know when you're eye fucking a lady or a man, whatever you're into.
Sure.
And you got to be really quick when you're staring into her ass.
You have to be calculated
very long, because it's like after 4 seconds it looks creepy. Right. After 6 seconds you're now officially like a perv and they arrest you. So I'm real quick at eye fucking people. So that lady I probably eye fucked, and I probably figured out that the bald guy in the middle is her husband, and I was like, oh, you can't stare directly at her nipples because he's probably a Marine and he'll fucking kill you. That's what's happening in my mind right there.
Yeah, he looks a little ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, like once a Marine, always a Marine, and he's ready to kill because I fucked his redhead wife.
So,
can we smoke weed on your show, Shot?
Yeah, sure. It's not like I'm sponsored by Disney.
I mean, I don't want to screw up your chances later on if they're like, hey, we need a photographer / podcast host. I want to talk about that Drake Nelson episode where he's talking about eye fucking and smoking cannabis.
I think this will be a more unique episode that I do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, probably be your best episode. But,
my highest rated one.
Yeah, I like this picture, man.
Okay, great.
You actually make me look like a comedian right there.
Well, Dave Micarelli, my first guest, he said one thing that I didn't even really think of, and this is why one of the reasons why I like the idea of this show so much, is that he said, because a photo means something different to each person that looks at it. You know, it tells a different story, perhaps. Like maybe not tells a different story, but it means something different, and it brings out a different emotion in a person when they see a photo of themselves or when they see something someone's captured of them, I find. So like he mentioned that the mic stand and the water bottle were his tools, and that I captured the whole scene, his whole like work environment kind of, you know what I mean? Which I thought was an interesting way to look at it.
I bring my bottle of water up there. That's like a thing I do. I don't even really drink it. It's more or less, it's like my little security blanket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
that's funny.
Yeah, I do it just because like if I lose my train of thought here, watch, I'll pretend I'm losing my train of thought. I'm not losing my train of thought, but this is what I'll do. See that? See what I did?
It gives you time.
Yeah, and really, I'm just thinking about a fart joke.
Okay. The next frame looks like these are.
Pretend I'm giving a bottle of blowjob on stage.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a great show for the people who paid $27.95.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Sometimes I'll just bail on my material and just sexually perform on a strange bottle. And I'll do that for 15 minutes. Here, right there, this picture right here.
You're very expressive.
See, I haven't seen this picture, dude. I like this because
really,
I learned from the wrestling business that when you're on stage, like all your little motions and stuff you do are amplified. So when you make a funny face like that, it's different than like in real life, if that makes sense. Like,
okay, yeah, they're because
like,
you're more the spotlight's
from
on
what I
you.
learned in the from what I learned in the wrestling business, you don't sell your moves and stuff to the people in the front row. You sell to the people in the back row, so they see you. So when you make a face, it's got to be what? It's got to be really animated and shit.
Oh, that's interesting.
Plus, I do that because I don't like writing.
Yeah. See,
my jokes suck, bro, but I can make a funny face.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. Like I can't make any funny faces and I can't write stuff.
You can write some pretty good stuff.
Maybe I have some photos.
I don't like writing per se. I have to I don't know, maybe it's because like I'm kind of a natural storyteller. And I like my material to sound conversational.
Right.
I like it to sound like real life. You're not gonna believe what happened, man. I was on my way here, and this fucking guy walks up to me. He's got a red shirt and a parrot.
Yeah.
I want it to sound like it really happened. If it sounds like material, it doesn't work for me. So, like, making faces and shit is a way to enhance that without me actually writing like a professional comedian would.
Right. Okay. And how do you feel about the editing of it? Like, do you like this is the original of it?
That's the original. Oh yeah. See, that's great.
The sign, the detail in the sign. Really.
I'm a loud person and I have a loud personality. So just right there, I love the fact that you brought the colors out. The colors are popping, you know? And it's almost like unintentional what you did right there, because I'm wearing a purple t-shirt under my blue
it's hard to get
shirt.
Contrast between the
right, but the logo or the shit on the left, the Laugh Factory sign is blue and purple. So that I don't know. I'm sure you just you edited it however you edited it, but subconsciously you fucking matched up the colors without even thinking about it.
Okay. Wow.
I see some nice reflection in a mole on my neck fat. If you could take out that neck fat.
That's one thing I'm pretty staunch about. Is
like
that,
if there's like a neck fat removal tutorial on YouTube.
I can do things like that, but I don't really believe in doing things like that because I know you're just joking, but in a serious note, like I really don't believe in I believe you are altering the way. Yeah, I like to bring the colors out and things like that, but I'm not a big I kind of refuse to alter someone's, remove a blemish or I within reason I would do it. I guess if you just woke up with a zit or something, I could probably fix it. But if you are, have a face, I don't know how to explain it.
If you have a face.
Yeah, if you have a face that's weathered like an old catcher's mitt.
Oh yeah, but I guess that would probably depend on who you're taking a picture of.
Sure.
If they're like, hey man, I saw you with a camera, can you take out that mole on my neck fat?
Sure.
Is there a way you can do that? If you discuss ahead of time,
Here's another great one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're really good at waiting for a good moment to see a face change. I don't remember exactly what I'm doing.
You are this joke. I remember this joke. You would say it was a joke about hand washing. So you would say the joke.
Oh yeah.
And you would say, oh, I knocked on the glass 3 times for him to give me water. And you put your hands down.
Go ahead and explain my joke because I forgot it.
I'd rather not.
I wouldn't say my material either. But now I get it. I'll explain my joke. So this is marijuana. This is a joke I'm doing about I saw a guy in the bathroom who couldn't figure out how the faucet works.
Oh,
and I'm sure people watching this, you know what I'm talking about. There's faucets with, the magnet, I don't know, whatever technology.
Sensors.
Yeah, where you don't have to touch it. It just knows you're there.
Yeah.
And I saw a guy this is a real thing. I saw a guy one time and he was looking at this faucet like, what the fuck? How do I work this thing? And he was all confused, and I had to help him out. So that was the catalyst to like write that joke. But again, dude, yeah, I like that picture, man. Yeah. Perfect amount of neck fat. There's heads. There's heads in the crowd. It actually looks like a show.
You know where I got this? Well, I wouldn't really say, because this is before actually I started following Troy Conrad's, which he's the photographer for the Comedy Store, one of the photographers for the Comedy Store. And he frames this a lot, and I kind of picked up on that, especially in the last probably few years that I'd seen it, you know. So I was like, oh, that's a really nice way to tell a good story without, and because photography is a two-dimensional thing in a three-dimensional space, you know. It's tough
when you do a trick like that, when you show some heads, show some shadow, it really kind of emphasizes that this is a three-dimensional thing.
Yeah.
Right. Does that sound like I know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool.
Next one. Ooh, another. Okay. And compositionally, I like that I just got right here. I mean, I didn't cut you off, but I got you right at the edge.
Which, like, from what I know about video, this is kind of breaking some rules because you don't really know what I'm looking at.
Right.
But, like, and you could reverse the image, but then you would see because of the text that it is reversed.
Yeah.
But, again, like, I think it's great to show stuff that breaks rules.
Right. Well, there's I
like shit that looks a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
By the way, those moles I have on the side of my head, I had those put in later. I had some work done. That's plastic.
Like Frankenstein bolts.
Yeah, just on the side of my head. You know, Mike Tyson's got a really cool tattoo on his face. I got really cool custom moles that I had installed.
Biggest waste of money ever.
Yeah. And one time, bro, I'm waiting for that girl that's like, you know what, fat boy, you got the sexiest moles on your face. Let me suck that cock.
Oh, man.
Are we allowed to say suck your cock?
You keep saying dirty stuff and ask her if it's okay after.
Oh, yeah. That's my thing, bro. I'll fuck up and then ask for forgiveness later.
I'll have to cut this all up.
You can beep it. It's fine.
I don't know.
My agent said, listen, if you're going to do Sean Pearson's little camera podcast, then you smoke drugs on it. Start talking about pussy and shit.
Hey, all right. Next photo. Looks like this is
white.
Yeah, this is one that it looks like the original you might be surprised at. Let's see. No detail in the curtains.
Yeah, I can see the difference there in the detail. I mean, obviously. Oh, yeah, when you take out the color, the detail really comes back. That's interesting. I don't know enough about photography. Is that a dynamic range thing?
Yeah, yeah. It's how much information is captured in the shadows of that. Yeah, of the image. It's a bit harder because it's the same color as when it's color, you know. It's like it looks like this is kind of the drapes, the parts in between the draping of the curtain seem to have just captured the light on each frame or whatever or in each line as you go through. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I kind of get it because you
see, because you just can't see it in color.
Right. That's interesting that it does that.
But it definitely helps with tell a story with this, because most of these shows were packed. Obviously, this is not a recent show.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a mask. And to tell you the truth, Sean, I haven't been on stage in it'll be a year in December. Like, that's how long it's been since I've been on stage. So I'm glad there are these pictures out there that actually show me on a comedy club stage. Because one thing to tell people, yeah, I used to do stand up.
Right.
So it's cool that,
Yeah, I'm glad that you feel that way. There's some people that, believe it or not, that I've ran across that are headliners even, and they just don't believe in I would believe in the art. I wouldn't really say the art, but believe in the idea behind having professional looking photos in a setting like this. And to me, this is an environmental portrait because you're at your job. So that's kind of like, I think that's the way that comics should think of it. There's another good one, black and white.
Oh yeah. Yeah. See, that's great, man. You're really good at capturing like an action thing. You know, making me look like a professional here.
Well, this one is a lot like this one.
Yeah. I actually like that one, this one, the black and white one, better than the other one now.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike the other one, but this one, again, going back to like the 3D, you got a shadow in there, you got heads, shadow on the face.
Right. Yeah, I like that detail.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Cool.
These pictures are gonna get me so much ass, bro.
Aren't you thinner now?
Yeah, I am thinner.
Okay.
I'm going to the gym and stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
I heard they might be closing gyms again, so now I just gotta like run up and down the street like a goddamn homeless guy now. You ever seen those guys running around outside?
Oh yeah, I used to live in Seattle. I've seen them outside.
Go to a gym like an adult. I gotta be this guy, you know? Maybe I'll fake like I'm a soccer player. Cause like there's people that just still play soccer. You ever seen those guys?
Yeah.
They go play soccer at these parks. I'll just pretend like I'm a soccer guy. Really, I'm trying to avoid saying Mexican. I'll be
you can't pull that one off.
No. Yeah, they won't believe I'm Mexican. But I can pretend I like soccer. And then I'll jump in their soccer game and I'll lose weight that way. That's what I have to do if they close the gyms.
Okay.
I got to get soccer socks. You ever seen those soccer socks? You pull them up to your knees. They got stripes on them.
Oh, yeah. I used to have a pair of those when I was in the AYSO.
Oh, really? So, yeah, you get it. Remember all the pussy we used to get in the AYSO?
Oh, man.
Remember all that?
No.
Don't remember?
No. I sure don't.
It was a wild time, man.
Yeah. Speaking of.
Oh, that's great.
This is I remember this night because you said you said a joke about fucking and you were like, I'm fucking, and then you did it forward for the people in front of you, and then you said, here, let me move to the side so the people on the side can see what we fucking looks like.
Yeah, that's a classic Drake Nelson bit right there. I want everybody included on my shitty jokes that I make. It looks like I'm taking a shit on stage. Like I wasn't planning that, but
Everyone sees something different. That's right.
If I found that one, and you know what it is, bro. Maybe this is like a trick that some comedians do, and I'm sure maybe you know what I'm talking about. That when you do a joke, there's ways you can like get 2 or 3 more jokes out of that joke.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you stay in that bit a little bit longer.
That wave, yeah.
Like that's not how you originally wrote it, but you feel like you just get a few more digs in.
Sure.
You know? So I think that's what I do with this bit. Is like the bit's over, but I'm like, fuck it, you're laughing. I might as well get one more joke or 2 out of it. Wow, we're at 23 minutes already, Sean. Did you know that?
Yeah. No, I didn't. See, it said time flies. The first episode was 34 minutes.
I'm thinking we can go another hour.
And we only got 4 or 5 more photos left.
Oh, we can stretch this for an hour, bro.
I like this one because Dave said that this is a rare thing to get someone pointing at the sign and making it look like not hacky and make it look
I'm not like turning.
Genuine. Yeah, exactly. Like, here's where I am. Like, look at me, you know?
Yeah. See that? I think that's a strength of mine. Not like pointing at shit. I mean, people are really good at pointing at shit. But is making it sound, like I said, like conversational. Like it doesn't sound like material. So a lot of the stuff I do with my hands and how I point, it just comes across as natural.
Okay. I like that.
And thus, I think when you can fool the crowd into thinking that it's not material, and if you can fool them into that, then they believe it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they can relate if I don't know if they don't feel like they're smarter than you or something. I could be really stoned. I don't know.
No, I like it. Like I said, everybody has their own ideas about how things come together, especially with comedy, and I like the insight.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of like comedy people. I don't know, like who do you think your market is for this podcast? Because it's not going to be just comedians. I would imagine
I have
that are interested in photography.
Photography, yes.
Yeah.
I have photos of music. I have photos of comedy primarily.
So
it's for I have a lot of photos of skateboarding.
Right. So it's anybody that you shoot.
Mm-hmm. I just happen to think that the comic angle of the show is the most compelling initially, because not only are they good personalities to have and can hold a conversation, but I have the photos and they're readily available. Yeah.
I was just thinking that, like, if you have this show with anybody that's not a comedian, they might not have like that conversational charisma.
Right. So until I learn, because admittedly I'm not the strongest host, so until I learn,
just keep having comedians on.
Exactly. I'll just keep having comedians on and let them carry the show as I learn, which is fine.
By the way, can I ask you a technical thing?
Sure.
John, I'm sure. How many different comedy clubs have you shot in, would you say? That have like controlled lighting and shit and conditions that don't change. That's what I mean. Like how many of those?
Probably like 4.
So 4. Okay. So when you're doing shutter speed, I would imagine you don't vary that too much.
Well, this one, you can see this was shot at 1/160th of a second.
1/160th of a second.
And this one was shot at 1/125th of a second.
Oh wow! So you're playing with that.
Yeah, I think this was. I know that the best settings, like this is ISO 1600 and 1/60th of a second.
Now that looks like a good shutter speed, but 125 that looks
a little low. Yeah, it was probably because you were static and you were moving. That's probably why. I don't think you're in perfect focus in this. You're in acceptable focus.
Right.
And that's another thing. I don't tend to throw away. I think it's a lot more compelling to get the image, even if it's not perfect technically.
Oh yeah, especially like
than to not have one.
A live comedy thing, like it's gonna look funny regardless. So
I found that generally when you increase the shutter speed, the sharper the image. But when you increase, it's a triangle. It's called the exposure triangle.
Right.
So basically, you have to think of it like a 3-legged stool. You have to adjust 3 of independent settings, because I only shoot in manual mode. So you have to adjust 3 independent settings every time you adjust one setting. You have to adjust another setting, the complementary setting to that, the ISO or the shutter speed or the f-stop. And here looks to be shooting with a vintage lens, because I believe this lens might have been from the 70s, because this is what I was shooting with at the time. I had only vintage glasses, all I could afford.
So this is a completely different show than what we were looking at?
No, this is the same.
Or all these
shows were shot with a vintage lens. Yeah.
See, I don't know enough to know that, but now that you said that, I can kind of see how the lines are a little soft. But I don't know that. I don't know if that's true, or if that's just what I see.
Well, it's also the camera that I shot with too. This is an A6000.
Sony A6000.
So this is an APS-C, kind of an entry level, very powerful entry level mirrorless camera. I shot with this for many years. I've actually owned 3 of them, and now
so
I
it's
moved on to a
mirrorless camera. So
Yep.
you're using an adapter to get that old lens to work with the mirrorless camera.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you use an adapter.
Like, why would you do that?
For a couple of reasons. The first would probably be cost savings, and the second would be a lot of the people have these lenses lying around, or relatively lying around, so to speak, because their grandpa had them, or their dad had them, or their uncle had them, and they would inherit the lenses, and it's made, especially prime lenses are the older zoom lenses aren't as sharp from the 70s and 80s.
Prime lenses don't zoom, right?
Prime lenses don't zoom. They call it zoom in with your feet. So
right.
And I've had in here I've shot with an 80 to 200, which is an old version of a 70. Nowadays it's 70 to 200. 80 to 200 and 135 millimeter f2.8. I've shot.
Now that you mention that, I think that might be why that black and white stuff just explodes, because it's a vintage lens, like, right?
Renders it differently.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, maybe
every lens has a characteristic to it that has a render characteristic to it. I mean, within reason, it's like you're going to get an image no matter what. But like, for example, there's a lens called the Helios lens, and the way the lens is constructed, it swirls the background behind the subject. So, there's lenses that are created for all kinds of different uses. And that's a vintage lens too. It kind of, the subject can just stand in one spot and it would swirl it around them just the way it's constructed. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. If you were going to shoot down the barrel of a penis, what kind of lens would you use?
Depends on
the penis.
Probably something ultra wide.
Ultra wide?
Yeah.
See, I would think macro. Like, you want to look into.
We're not talking about me.
No, I mean, but like, I would, if it's my penis, you definitely need a macro. Like, you got to get right in there, Okay.
Yeah. Something like a Laowa probe lens.
All right.
Yeah, it's like a big long lens. It's like a big macro lens, very powerful. It's like a 15-to-1 reproduction ratio or something. It's like it'd make it look huge.
I don't necessarily want it to.
You're looking at it now.
Whoa, is that in the picture you mean?
Yeah.
By the way, I just like taking the conversation into a weird place because I know it makes you uncomfortable.
It's hard to recover from for me.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a great recovery. Yeah, so back to the picture, you fucking weirdo. Now this one, I think you've sent me before. I think I've used this for stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I think I have sent this to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were talking about off stream. You also looking for pictures or opportunities to do something like that people can share to social media. That you can put like show dates and stuff. I think that's fucking genius. And I think it's a great like billboard for working comics. Or you don't even have to be working. If you're just gigging, if you got a couple gigs coming up, put them on a picture like this.
Yeah, or this, dates here, boom.
Yeah. Like Miles Weber is really good about that. He's a comic out of Sacramento.
There's another.
But there's another one. Like what I could point to something right there,
Right.
Like a big butthole or something,
Yeah. I think some people are.
Hey, come check out my butthole.
You can just put a floating cat there.
Right. Hey, come up here and pull my finger.
Sure.
Your highest rated show ever. Look, I'm not even losing my hair. Somebody told me I might be losing my hair. Did you Photoshop my hair?
No.
Yeah, see, I was freaking out the other day. Somebody's like, "You're going bald, bro," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I shaved my head. I'm not going bald."
You look like Channing Tatum from here.
Like a fat Channing Tatum.
The hairline of a fat Channing Tatum.
Like if Channing Tatum got fat, he would look like me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I could do that. I could see that. Like I'm Channing Tatum's before picture.
Looks
and
like
then he did P90X, and now he's Channing. Like I'm that guy.
looks like the shirt you own this one has both have the same pattern, just different colors.
It's not the same pattern. That black one is like awful.
Stripe. You don't like this one?
I love the shirt because I love any shirt that I can wear comfortably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I think maybe I liked it and now I hate it from seeing it on a picture.
Do you still own the shirt?
Oh yeah. But I think I'm gonna get rid of it right now. Like I like the picture. I just hate the shirt now, you know?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I like this picture too.
I'm not talking shit about the shirt. I like just wearing, now that I saw those blues that you showed earlier, I'm like, yeah, I like wearing colors on stage.
It looks, yeah. And let's see if you can see this one was shot at. These are my normal settings for Laugh Factory. f5.6, 1/250th of a second, and ISO of 2000 for this camera, which is the D5500, which is a Nikon APS-C camera. And I kept those settings traditionally for the A6000 too, a little bit, probably a little lower ISO, but this must have been with a kit lens, zoom kit lens, because I was at 200 millimeters, the 55 to 200, probably a kit lens. So
yeah, I like it. Again, I like the emotion that you capture, and you make me look comfortable on stage. I mean, I am comfortable, you know,
but it translates to the picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Like right there, I'm always telling young comedians, like, hold that mic down a little bit so they can see your ugly face.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
This is great too, because look, it actually looks like I'm getting a laugh.
Yeah, it looks like what I like about this is there's so much going on in this photo. You're obviously commanding the room because she's looking over there. He's looking over there.
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
He's clapping because he's liking what you're saying. I mean, we can even see if we can see even more.
I'm like a angry. Oh, nice.
He's looking.
So the detail right there.
Yeah, just to see what he's looking at. But yeah, he's
I like what you did, by the way. Like you take it down a little bit, and it's more of a silhouette, because you know, like
right.
I think it's a better thing. Anyway, I look like an angry substitute teacher right there, don't I? Like, I'm telling you, why don't you get the fuck out of my class? And everybody's like yelling at the kid, like, yeah, get out of class. The substitute, that guy's yelling at you.
You know, something interesting about Laugh Factory is this is white, right?
Uh-huh.
So something that you want to do is, in photography, you have this white card or a gray card for your white balance. Right. So you see this is pick white balance.
Right.
This is what I was used to do.
Okay.
And that would give me the white balance because I knew it was white. I would just take the little dropper and put it on there and it would be good.
So then it adjusts it.
Yeah, it adjusts it, yeah.
Because white balance is always tricky.
You can
camera you're using.
Yeah, you can do some weird things with white balance. I mean, you can.
Well, that looks
change
like.
It.
Oh, that's all. So that's over there. You actually have the white balance.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah,
is that in StreamYard? Or
this is
that?
This is what do you mean?
What are you editing?
I'm editing in my program in StreamYard is projecting it through the stream, so we can all see it. Yeah. So right now I can't see you, but I can't see you, but I'm editing the photo.
Right.
Another thing I notice people do a lot with photos is they really like. Let's see if I can fix They really kick up the saturation a lot and like make people red.
Yeah. I tend to do that in video, maybe and again maybe because like color corrections probably.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine that in video.
Yeah, it's probably one of my weakest parts of my skill set is color correction, audio, shit like that. So to make up for that, I play with the saturation a little bit more.
Okay, I like that.
But again, like I have to just upload shit and rely on comments, but nobody comments on technical shit like that. But when they do, I take your advice, you know.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
know.
would have thought that like now I'm telling myself the next time I fuck with um saturation to look at skin tone
Yeah.
to see if it's turning pink or too red, whatever, you know.
Well, this software is really unique because a lot of people use Lightroom and Photoshop.
Yeah.
And Capture 120 is kind of a mix of both. So it has layers like Photoshop. So like let's say I wanted to just draw a mask around you and only increase exposure around you or whatever, I can draw that mask around you and it would auto populate around your frame.
Right.
And the rest of the like Photoshop in that way. But one unique thing I like about it is, and this is I think unique to I don't remember this being in Lightroom when I was using Lightroom, but the high dynamic range slider set you can see here, black, white, shadow, and highlight detail.
So that kind of boosts it.
Well, you can see how this is how the image would probably
shadows.
Like,
okay.
So you see how look at the sign?
Right. It's all blown out.
So you take down that detail. Take down the bright highlights. And the shadow. Yeah. And this is all separate from contrast, which also can adjust the blackness of it, you know, the punchiness of it. Now I'm just kind of reaching for things to talk about, I suppose, technically. I'm not sure if anybody would even be interested in the technical aspects.
No, I am, because I don't really – I want to learn more about photography, you know? So I think like – I think anybody that's interested can – because I barely know how to fucking edit. I throw some shit in Lightroom and play around, but I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, that's why a lot of times I just leave my shit on auto.
Yeah.
You know?
There is like an adjustment, like an auto adjustment. Like if I wanted to do, like I could reset the adjustments on this. This is how it looked just normal. Mm-hmm. I could do a auto adjustment and see, but that's what it thinks it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. See, I liked how you did it.
Yeah, it's much more finessed. This looks like a snapshot. This looks like somebody took it with a
cell phone.
Maybe with a cell phone, yeah, but just from the perspective and just because it's so light and everything, you know, like it does look like a cell phone picture, yeah, but you're right, it's all in the mood and there's so many layers to an image, and people think that a lot of people think that cell phones will just negate the need to have nice cameras.
Oh yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. Well, you're a photographer. You have a different point of view, you know.
Right.
And I agree with you, but it's a weird mix, right? Like,
yeah,
technology sometimes it can be better, and you can do crazier shit with it. Like I was at a buddy's wedding one time, and they're like, "Don't hire a photographer. We're all gonna get this app." Right. So like 20, 30 people at this wedding got this app. And we all just snapped pictures of the wedding and we uploaded it to this app. You know what I mean? And it was cool. We all got to like.
That's pretty unique.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And we saved a bunch of money on hiring a photographer, you know, but they're not traditional pictures either.
Right. They don't, you know, you don't have the ring shots. You don't have, I mean, they might, but they don't. They look like snapshotty, you know, I can imagine.
Yeah, they don't have that shot of like that part of the wedding where like your new wife becomes a stripper, right? And everybody like puts money in her thigh, which I always thought was weird. Like,
yeah,
why is she a stripper all of a sudden?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It didn't happen at my wedding, luckily.
Well, who was I tipping at your wedding? So I got drunk and someone was getting dollar bills shoved in their ass or something. The wedding was wild, man. I couldn't stay away from that girl in the wheelchair. Remember her? Woo!
that concludes today's show. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that would have been a good segue. Just like, don't sell it. Just
I could cut it there.
Bang the girl in a wheelchair at my wedding that may or may not have got tipped. So you better interview just comedians for a while, man, because you're gonna have some skateboarder that's like, yeah, cool picture. Yeah. And that's it. He's not gonna talk, and you're gonna be like, I gotta fill time with this skateboarder.
Well, luckily I have a couple good guests lined up, 2 or 3 in a row. So I'm pretty excited about that. Nice. And they're comedians. One is a skateboarder, and the other 2 are comedians. So hopefully by the third or fourth episode, I'll be able to carry myself a little better.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'll take some pictures of me trying to skateboard, and I mean that's gold, right there. Yeah. Do you think like a skateboard could even support my weight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, one time I got a brand new skateboard.
For what I need, one skateboard for each foot. Like I'd need to like tape it to my feet
and have someone push you like a ski.
Now, what were you saying?
I bought it'd have to be a brand new board to support your weight. Can't have any kind of wear on it.
No.
Can't any kind of wear.
No. What were you saying? One time, did you have a fat skateboarder?
No. One time I got a new skateboard, and I took it out, and I was skating, and I slipped out, and a car ran it over right in the middle, just in the middle of the board. A car runs it over and just goes boop like a speed bump, and just goes right over it, no problem. So I think it would hold your weight just fine. Yeah.
Oh, you got one of those Nokia boards. I heard of those.
Sweet. I'm gonna end it here. Hold on.
Tony Chicken Hawk guy has one of those. How funny I am.
Thank you for being on the show.
Another 2 hours, bro.
We're at 46 minutes. All right, I'm gonna end it here.
All right. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great rest of the day.
I will.